Okay, that's focused. Yeah, so this is Leetcode 139. This is a medium difficulty question. There's quite a few likes compared to dislikes. So I think this is a pretty good problem to go over. So this is given a non-empty string, S, and a word dictionary that's an array of strings. You want to see if you can segment S into words that exist in this array. And you can use multiple words more than once. And let's see. Yeah, so you want to determine if S can be segmented into a space-separated sequence of one or more of these dictionary words. And duplicates are allowed, like I said, and you can assume the dictionary does not have duplicate words. So yeah, we can see here cats exist here and exist here, or you could also do cat and sand. Dog exists, but when you segment it, you actually can't make all of this. So let's say we did cats, and if we do cats and, you would be left with OG, and OG doesn't exist there. We could do cat's dog, and then we would have an AN left over, and we won't be able to completely segment it with these words. But if you had like S is equal to Leetcode, and it's a string, and then a word dict of Leet and code, obviously you could segment it into Leet and then code. So that Leetcode would return true, and in this example it would return false, because you cannot fully segment it with the words given in this dictionary. So returning some sort of Boolean value. Yeah. So the idea here, you could potentially see it as like a DP, dynamic programming problem, which is how our approach is going to be. So the idea is to see where we can segment our string, see where the segmentation begins, and then only start to so at the index that we are currently looking at, that's going to be the beginning of a word. If it can be segmented, then we check character by character to see if that range exists in this word dict. So that might sound a little bit complex, so I'm just going to start kind of going through the code and explaining it as I go. So we'll define word break. So taking a string, big S, and then we'll do WD for word dict. Just an array, and this is going to return a Boolean value. So what we want to do is we have cats and dog. So let's just do cats and dog. So we're going to create a new array with Boolean values. So let's say false, F for false, and it's going to be equal to this string plus 1. And we are going to initially set the first index to true. And then now we're going to iterate through our string. So let's write that first. So dp equals false times the length of wd plus 1. Right, so we have this dp of 1, or dp of 0 equals true. Right? So now we need to iterate through S. Yeah. So for I in range of length of S, and And we need to have like a J pointer to see if that range from I to J is in our word dict, right? So for J in range, it won't be just length of S because we don't want I to be greater than, we don't ever want a case where I is greater than J, right? So we do from I to the length of S. So we need to see if C at first exists in our word dict. Okay, so like I mentioned before, we need to first check if what index we're on at I is true. And it's always going to start true. So we'll do if dp of I and S I to j plus 1, because Python it does not include the last index or the last number in that range of the slice in word dict. So we'll iterate through j. So this is I and j first. So C is not, dp of I is true, but C is not in word dict, right? So we're going to increment j all over until I is still true, and we'll see cat. This is where j is now, and it is in our word dict. So what we want to do is set dp of j plus 1 is equal to true. So now we're going to have this is true. So this is where, which denotes that this is where a segmentation occurred. And then we're also going to iterate j once over to here, because cats is also in our word dict. So we'll set this also to true. Right? And then we're going to keep going, growing j all the way to the end. And then I to j doesn't have anything there. So we're going to go from A, I is at A, and then all the way through. It doesn't exist. And then we're going to have I at T here, eventually, and then J also here. S does not exist in word dict, but sand does, right? And J is here. So we increment J plus, or we set J plus 1 equals to true. So we can do that here. So sand is there. And then J would increment out. We would update I to be at A. Index at I is true. And keep going through. A and D does exist here. So we said that is true, but it's already true. So we'll just ignore that. And then we'll go I is at dog. But now we go to here, and then we see that dp of I is not true, right? So there's nothing that ended at the previous index of D. So so that's false. So we never get here. So we just break out and continue on until I and J are both here. It's false. And all we need to do is set return dp of -1, which is in this case false, which is what the answer, what our answer should have been. So we'll go over like a case where this is true. Yeah, so I guess we can use like a very similar example, or for simplicity's sake, let's just use the Leetcode example before. Or let's even do Leet code. And we just have Leet and code. Right, so like before, Leet code. DP array, get the length of that plus 1. So like I said before, true, false, 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 plus 1. Right, so j, or ij here, and then j we're going to keep incrementing until we find that we end at, and we're going to set j plus 1 equals to true, like so. So we know that we could segment these first 4 characters. And then we'll continue incrementing. There's no leet in here, so we would keep moving I, one over, another over, another over, and when we get to here, I would be at this L, and then we would go to here, where j is here. Leet is still in word dict, so we update this, be true, j plus 1, and then, so you can see that, I hope. The pattern is pretty simple. Move I to here, I is true, so we can continue to check. J here is false, so we set j plus 1 equals to true, and then we just return this value. And if that value is true, then we know that this string that we were given is, you can segment it with the words that we have in the word dict. And it works, obviously. You can use this one multiple times. So you would return true, and yeah, that would be the answer. Okay, thanks for watching.